square it off more. That's gonna fall, break, and break your pipe.
I don't care.
Good
morning. Yeah, we're live.
All right. Good morning.
Nope,
See, you're not in. I told you.
I know. I'm just gonna square it
told
up.
you.
We're squared away.
Hey, there you go. I can lean forward a bit.
There we go. Good morning. Joe and Jay back for another one.
There's your Joe.
We got my Joe.
Got the J.
Got the Jay.
What do you think we should do?
Let's go coffee.
Smoke Joe. Smoke J.
Well, I'm not gonna
Drink
smoke. I'm not gonna drink a J and smoke a Joe.
You can smoke a Joe.
Well, I guess a Camel. You know.
Smoke Joe Camel.
But it was a good morning today. I had to take my contacts out, man. Being in the hot tub, my left eye just swole something terrible.
My eye.
My eyes. How's this look? Hold on, let's see. No, I don't want to see an ugly car out there. So, anyway, so it's a good day today. It's a little rainy outside, as usual. Hello, hello. If, what does it say? Jacob. Jacob's here. Hello, Jacob. Let's slide this. Actually, if I bring this just a little bit more forward, it'll be easier to read. This is just to keep the phone from tilting. There we go. That's a little better. So I saw Jacob was here. It's good to have you. Morning, Jacob. So, Sippa.
Morning, Jacob.
Jacob plays a little bit of Fortnite with me. Good kid. Good kid. He's trying to earn a pizza party by getting his whole class to subscribe to my channel.
How does that win him a pizza party? You buy him a pizza party?
Oh, send him a pizza. Get
A whole class, you can send one pizza.
for him.
You cheat.
Not for the kids. For him.
You cheat. Bleep, 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 bleep.
Hey, good morning, Highwayman. Good to see you. You on the road today?
All right.
You traveling about, driving around? Huh? Good day.
What can we do today?
I don't know. The weather's going to be crappy today.
Take a quick dip. Quick soak. You can Joe and the J Smoke and Soak edition.
Smoke and soak edition, huh?
Mm.
Well, the bubbles in the hot tub went really, really well. Almost to Atlanta. Oh, okay.
That was a lot of bubbles.
That was a lot of bubbles. You guys didn't even see how many.
I used the whole bottle.
We went and got a bottle of Mr. Bubble, and we put the whole thing in the hot tub. And you know what, dude? That was like, I thought for a while, I was like, okay, that should be about the end of the bubbles. No.
That was a lot of bubbles.
So it was a lot of bubbles.
But I do feel silky smooth.
Yeah.
Silky smooth.
Now I know what my dishwasher feels like.
Yep.
Wow, it's hot in here.
All right. Oh, we already got a thumbs up too. All right. Hit that
Here,
thumbs
so
up.
you want me to turn the fan on in here?
No. I'm fine.
Turn the AC on?
I'm fine.
What I gotta do is plug her in.
This is the portable bat cave.
The portable bat cave.
Portable. He didn't unload. He didn't. How do you load that video?
Yeah, I haven't loaded it yet. I
The
haven't uploaded.
underwater bat cave.
You guys will see that soon enough. What I'm gonna do is so who's who knows.
Kind of stupid but funny.
Sip's been here, and we were supposed to shoot a few videos, and it just didn't go according to plan yet. So what I've been doing is I've been shooting footage throughout the days of our stuff, and I was going to compile it into one awesome little video, and which does include the underwater bat cave for those who haven't seen it yet. There, we did the underwater bat cave. You'll see what that means and that what entails. Guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. I got 3 people watching, 1 thumbs up. That's bad math.
Ready? Thumbs up now.
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 Nothing.
You know what this thing needs?
What?
Needs a thumbs up and a view button.
That's a good one. That'd be good.
Bet you the FU button would be like the most popular.
I've gotten 100 likes,
All right.
10 thumbs down, and 16 million views. Do remember, we can talk about anything on this Joe and Jay show. It's already been demonetized. I don't monetize any of the Joe and the Jay shows because there's no point. They pawned out immediately.
They don't like us.
No, not particularly. Well, we're just, there's nothing they don't like us. They do their own thing. But, so you get ready to head back to Boston in a few days, huh?
Yep.
I've been trying my damnedest to convince him to move down here with us. well, not with me. Get his own place and live in his own place. But it's a good place to live down here. He needs to come. The South is way better than the North.
Hmm.
4 distinct seasons.
Still no thumbs up.
Here in the South, we have 4 seasons. Hot, not so hot. Cold, not so cold. But they're distinct.
But they're distinct. Oh, man. Early morning.
Early in the morning.
Got shit done already today.
Yeah, I'm happy with what I got done.
I rolled 10 J's.
Good man.
Hey, gotta keep busy. Oh, man.
The way I see it is, you rolled 10 roaches for me. See, this is why I love this guy. He's the kind of guy who will, just for instance, his J's. He rolls these really huge J's, right? But he doesn't save the roaches. Now, I'm a Jew, so I will save the roaches. And Sip knows that he'll save the roaches for me. And the last time he did that, we opened up this thing, right? And we had...
See, you're gonna save that.
Well, I'm going to. That's why I put it aside. No, don't touch it! No, leave it alone. It's mine.
Damn it. You quit smoking. I'll put this out in here.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. You're wasting it.
Do you know how many we've smoked that fell in the hot tub? Why does this joint taste like a pool? I don't know, but I think someone peed in the pool. I like what you said. You tell him about the ool thing.
Oh, well, Uncle had a pool. He had a sign. Welcome to our ool. Notice there's no pee in it?
That's good. Jacob, you should actually be at school right now, so pay attention.
Whoa. Skipping school?
No, he just tunes in.
Right. There's only one person watching.
That's okay.
And I bet you it was you who gave us that thumbs up. All right.
I agree.
School, isn't it like... Oh, so Jacob's in this country.
Yes, Jacob's a local kid.
All right. America.
So is the Highwayman. Obviously, because he's in Atlanta.
Everybody in, I guess, old England is sleeping.
No, they're awake. It's afternoon. Everyone's getting ready to finish work up.
What time is it? It's 5 hours
5 hours ahead.
So it's 9 here?
It's almost 10, so it's about 3 in the afternoon there.
3 in the afternoon? No, all
Yeah,
right.
so everyone's waking.
Sweet.
They're just going about their day. You know, this is drive time, you know? This is time when people are driving. Some are getting home early. Some are getting home...
Please don't drive and watch Joe and Jay.
Save it
Put
for
your
later.
phone down. It can wait.
Except for Highwayman, because this is what he does for a living, and he just puts us on the radio and listens in. So it's kind of like a talk show for him, and that's how I kind of wanted this to always be for Joe.
You're driving in the New England area and you're on your phone and someone starts shooting at you, probably going to be me. I hate those people. Oh, pay attention to the road, not the phone.
What do you think about aliens, Sip?
Aliens. We're aliens.
You think so?
We life form floating in space somewhere.
Yeah, but we're not alien to this planet.
This planet is alien.
To what?
Okay, the deer. Those are aliens.
No, they're not.
It's to you, it's wildlife, but to alien that came down, they'd be like,
Well, see, there's no
What?
such thing as an alien. When you say an alien, we just use that word as a description to say that it really just
okay,
means
are
just
you,
not
Are you
from this.
talking about space aliens, or are you talking about illegal aliens?
No, space aliens.
Okay.
Now, for instance, the reason I say there's no such thing as aliens is because we use that word to describe what would actually mean an extraterrestrial entity. So, and when you say extraterrestrial, because Earth is called Terra, terrestrial,
That's
so
Latin.
meaning, exact, thank you, and extraterrestrial meaning outside of this Earth. That's all that an alien is. When you say alien outside, outer space, man, we're shortening alien so we don't have to
You
say
see,
extraterrestrial entity.
Look, here we are somewhere in the galaxy, spinning around,
Mhm.
kind of like that, but more roundish.
Not really. It's more like a
Okay.
corkscrew.
More roundish. But anyway.
It's more like a corkscrew.
No, round planet. But shut the hell up.
Okay.
Now I forgot what I was going to say.
All right, here we are spinning.
Yeah, we're spinning. Okay? Now, I forgot what I was going to say.
I don't know.
We're aliens, Earth. I don't know. There's aliens. There's definitely life in other planets. Definitely.
Well, I mean, just think about this alone.
Space is too big. Oh, yeah. What I'm saying is humans were, through the years, I want to say, educated to the point where we, because in the Bible, I believe it says that we are the center of the galaxy. And we're not.
No.
We're not.
Well, they wouldn't even say there's a galaxy. Then they would probably set
No.
the center of this of the universe, because that, as far as they knew,
You know?
what they saw was the universe.
Galaxy, universe, the same thing, isn't it?
No, well, the universe is what
It's everything.
is everything.
Yeah.
Galaxies are
Oh,
individual.
yeah. Okay, yep, gotcha.
Like, for instance, we're in the Milky Way galaxy,
That's-
and our nearest.
It's kind of like rank. Solar planet, solar system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Galaxy.
Planet, solar system. Then it would go up
That's right.
to galaxy,
Universe.
cluster,
I would say cluster.
nebulae.
That's a type of planet, ain't it?
A nebulae? It's a hot gas. It's just a giant cloud of hot gas. Well, for instance,
But anyway,
okay.
we were brought up to believe that we were the center of the universe. Everything revolves around Earth.
And what's is interesting though, but
But it don't.
it doesn't. But do you know why? Do you understand why they thought that though? Because from the perspective
Religion.
of, well, no, not only that.
Yes,
From okay,
religion.
but if I was looking at you, right, and you were looking at me, and you were spinning,
Mm-hmm.
would you not say that I was spinning from your perspective? Who's really spinning from what perspective?
Well, if I was spinning right now, I would say,
I hate using this
But-
app on the phone to do that. This is why.
if I'm sitting here and I'm spinning, okay? Now, am I spinning when I say, hey, I'm spinning? Or if I spun around, got myself dizzy enough, where I sat down and I'd be like, whoa, the room is spinning. But what's actually spinning?
Nothing.
Yeah.
All about perspective.
You know? No.
Yes.
You're tricking the body.
Uh-huh.
You know, how do you get dizzy? What actually happens to your brain when you get
Your
dizzy?
eyes are unable to focus.
You know?
They're trying to catch up with the information that was coming too quick. See, here's what's interesting about your eyes. If the speed of light, listen now.
Mhm.
If the speed of light wasn't the speed it was as it is today, for instance, if we sped up the speed of light a little bit,
Okay.
it would mess with your vision. If we slow down the speed of light, it would mess with your vision. Because your eyes have become evolved
Accustomed to the
to that speed. For instance, when you see a car driving,
If you
there is actually a small delay in the time that you see the car. If the speed of light was a little slower, your reaction time would go down because it would take longer for the light to get to your eye, therefore longer for your brain to interpret what it saw,
I don't
and longer
think so,
for you to react.
because
Absolutely. For instance, watch. I'll do a simple
we-
experiment. Ready?
we
Wait.
cannot see. We cannot focus that fast.
No.
Our eyes. So I think if you,
That's why your brain fills in the gaps. with
because
most of
right
it.
now the speed of light is traveling way faster than what the human eye can focus at.
No. We got to think about this. What you just said was a good point. We don't focus that fast. But just like when you're reading, you don't read. You know that, right? You don't read. Neither do you. None of you read at home. You've been trained to recognize what words say. Like, for instance, when I show you this, did you actually have to read Pall Mall, or did you just know it said it? You just knew it said it.
Yeah.
I don't have to read it. I can just look at it and say, that's Pall Mall. Don't have to read it. My brain has become used to recognizing what those letters mean. So I don't actually have to read. Now, when you're reading some books, the way you speed read is you start skipping spots intentionally and let your brain fill in the gaps. For instance, when I was in college.
I read every word.
I was in college. I got kicked out of college because I failed out. So I had to go to, I was goofing off, drinking a lot of beer, just
Yeah,
being a
okay.
typical college student.
Right.
So what I did was they sent me to which was the greatest thing ever because it worked out great for me because I learned this Czech dude. And I had to go to, I got some college courses because I went to another college to take a study course. Once I passed the study course, I could re-enroll into my school and keep going. Which, actually, dude, not for nothing. My grades went from not paying attention at all, 75 CDs, barely passing, not doing a damn thing, to A's and B's just sitting in a few front rows and engaging a little. And my grades went through the roof. I went from a CD to a A+ student again.
You got from kicked out
To A+ again.
Huh.
Like I normally was in high school anyway. I was always an A+. See, I think when I got to school,
you just goofed off in
yeah, I scoofed off my first
Really?
half
Yeah.
my half the freaking half my first time and half my time in school. Man, I goofed off, dude. I was trashed. 18 years old, finally 19 years old, 19. Got away from mom, on my own in Nashville. You know, at Diesel College with Diesel guys from Country Boys. What do Country Boys do? They drink a ton of beer. So anyway, point is though, I forgot.
You were going to Diesel College. You dropped out because.
Oh, the study thing. Okay. So yeah, just didn't study. So I get to the study course and they taught me. They showed me this thing and it showed you, first off, highlighting in red or pink is the closest you can get on a highlighter. Highlight in pink, but don't highlight filler words. For instance, the engine runs at 5,000 RPMs when reaching top speed of 100. So you would highlight engine, top speed, the RPMs, speed, this, that. Cut out the other words. That way when you read it, you just, engine, speed, 1,500 RPM, this, that. When a test would come up, you don't have to worry about the filler words. I would see engine, speed, blank, RPMs. Well, I remember that I highlighted, that's the answer, find it, got it, Basically, you wind up removing filler words. You don't have to read the whole thing. That's how speed reading works. But it taught me, though, that you, taking out the filler words and just doing the filler words, highlighting in red, and sitting in the front 2 rows will get you an automatic B. Almost all the time. Did you know the front 2 rows score 25% higher than the back 2 rows in all colleges? Just sitting in the front 2 rows of school will get you a 25% better grade than the people sitting in the back 2 rows. So if they're getting barely passing with a 70, right? You're going to get 25% better than that. That works out to 25% better. 25% of 7 is 14 is what? Or 7 is what? 70 is what? What's 25% of 70? 10% would be 7. 20 would be 14. 3, 4, 17. So check this out. 17. It's about 17.5. Okay, so if the guys in the back rows who are goofing off are getting a 70, just by sitting in the front 2 rows, you're going to get an 87. That's a D to a B. Just sitting in the front 2 rows. And now, you're saying, how does that work? Well, what they found out is that when you're sitting in the back 2 rows, you have more observable distractions than just what the teacher is saying. More observable distractions. So you look around more, see, this person says something, you hear where the sound comes. It's natural. You tend to focus towards the distractions. So when you're sitting in the front 2 rows, the kids in front of you aren't moving a whole lot because they're watching. Maybe 1 or 2, you're engaging differently with the school, but it's the front 2 rows that engage. And what happens is, first of all, then the teacher also recognizes you more. Teacher recognizes you more, he might like you a little better. That 89 could easily turn to a 90 I like that guy. He's a good student. Now, one of my best classes was hydraulic classes, and the teacher was impressed. I was the only student to have scored an average score between 8 weeks. Normally your max score was 100, right? The highest you could score in the class was 100. Yep. They weren't sure to do it with me. I scored a 110. They were like, I was like, can I get scored a 110 because it's going to help my overall average? They said, yes, but we can't grade you a 110. We're going to have to grade you 100, but it's going to reflect that you scored a 110 in the class so that it affected your overall grade performance. So the way it worked out is that, okay, you know how I'm a Jew and I always like to use the bare minimum to get it done. And you're like, give it some extra room, kid, a little extra slack. And I messed that up, right? Well, in hydraulics class, we were given these big pieces of hydraulic tubing. For every inch that we had left over after we built our assembly, you got an extra point added to your grade. Dude, I measured that shit to be just fit, perfect, everything. and it worked. I had the most left over. I had like 1.5 feet left over. He's like, normally people, they cut, they mess up a piece. Dude, I did it perfect. If you could ever do this little system perfect, that was it. That was the bare minimum it could take to run this machine, and I got it. We also got 3 bonus questions every 4 weeks or 2 weeks on our midterm and our final if we had perfect attendance, in which you also got a bonus 2 points for having perfect attendance in class. So, got my perfect attendance, that's 102. I got my bonus questions, and I aced it, the whole test, perfect on the test. The next week, I got my 2 bonus points again for the perfect attendance, and I got 18 extra points for the extra feet being left over, and the final test, the 3 bonus questions, I got those right too. Dude, when I say I aced hydraulics class, I aced. There's no, I don't think the teachers could get a better score than me.
Yeah.
That's good. Funny. Now, I did go when I came home from Afghanistan to buy the house, I needed to get my college transcripts. So I drove up to the school to go pick them up. I go in the office and I'm like, I was a student here back so and so and so. I need a sealed copy of my transcripts, please. And they say, okay, it's $14.95 and we'll mail it out to you. Fuck, I really don't want to mail them, but that's what you do. That's what you do. And I said to the lady, listen, is there any way you can mail them to APOAE? And she was like, what's that? I'm like, well, I'm a soldier and I'm in Afghanistan. I'm home on leave right now. I need this paperwork for points for sergeant, make my sergeant. I had college maxed out. I just never turned my points in for it because I didn't want to be a sergeant. They tried. So turn your points in. Dude, I had E6. I had E6 points. I had E6 points with all the classes I did from Iraq. Dude, Raid, Bat, Hide, Invacus, each worth 10 points.
All the correspondence.
I didn't have to do a single correspondence course. Yeah. Didn't have to. I had college done. That's your biggest thing right there. I had it maxed out. I was E6. All I had to do was turn in paperwork, but I never wanted to. I wanted to work in the motor pool to get experience. I knew if I made 5, I'm going behind a desk. And I hate paperwork.
Yep.
In Afghanistan, I told Ramirez, you do the paperwork. When the paperwork's done, you come out and help me. But I am not doing paperwork. We got Sergeant Borsani and I got left alone for about 2 weeks in the motor pool because everyone got detailed out to do stuff. I went up to Sergeant Borsani. I said, here's how it's going to go, Sergeant. I'm going to go work on those generators. You are going to stay in the office and order parts, put in my work orders. I will tell you what's wrong with the generator, and you write it down. He goes, I can do that. I was like, Sergeant Borsani, and I said, don't worry, I'm going to make you shine. Dude, we've kicked out so many generators that week. Nobody bothering me. No one asking for this. Green Bomb, come help me that. Dude, I spent more time having to put...
I just went to 4.
I'm not worried. They're watching, we're talking. This is like this is great. This is great. Hold on.
I want to see who's here first.
All right, if you're here, go ahead and give us a...
who's here?
Pick a number. Pick a number. 1 to 9. Hurry.
Where are you from?
There's no wrong number. There's no wrong weather. There's no wrong number. 1 to 9.
2.
2. Everyone who's here, throw up a 2 so we can see you. Good rhyme. Highwayman, you're excused. I understand you're driving. Don't do it. Just go ahead and beep the horn. We'll understand. He's driving, so you don't have an option. You can't do that.
All right, can you read that?
Luis is here. Highwayman is here. Highwayman. Matt Willis is here. And Rob Robertson. Heisenberg is coming. Oh, Heisenberg. I found my fedora. So.
Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're from.
Good morning, good evening, and good night, in case I don't see you. Anyway. So. Yeah. Dude, I made Sergeant Borsani look good that week. I think we turned out, like, in that 2 weeks, I turned out 18 generators in and out for repairs. That's 1 a day. That more than 1. Well, like 18, somewhere like little 2Ks. You know, those things just clogged the fuel filter or something.
Was like Afghanistan vehicle AC a problem? In the vehicles? Did you have it?
No, all of our equipment was brand new. Everything was brand spanking new, dude. Well, the only thing we
That's
brought that
right,
was
you
used
brought
were the
them.
generators. We only brought the generators used. The contact trucks were brand
Contracts
spanking
were
new. Everything was. Well, what happens is before a unit deploys,
That's
they
right.
give you a giant budget.
Yeah.
Beef up your
Oh,
stuff.
I know.
Dude, you know what my budget was in Afghanistan?
What? Oh, yeah.
It was great.
No,
That's
yeah,
why I
well-
tried to order the pony and the dog. It only made it. It got to S6. It got to the S6 yard.
Really, a
Yeah,
pony?
my pony and my dog. I told my sergeant, I said I was going to walk him every day. You won't have to. I did, too. I'm not joking. This is not a joke. You guys may think when I'm telling you funny things that I say or do, it's because we said and did them. So I told Sergeant Helm, I said to him, I ordered a dog, Sergeant. The hell'd you order a dog for? I'm like, I'm going to train it. He's like, for what? I'm going to train it to run around the base and listen for generators. And when one shuts down, he's going to come get me. Generators down, boy. Oil's everywhere. Oh, this dog's a genius. The tents are on fire. I gotta go. So,
Sergeant!
no,
Sergeant!
S6 yard calls me over. I get a call on the radio. Greenbaum, can you come to the S6 yard? On my way. Jumped in my contact truck. Why are you ordering a German Shepherd? So I had to explain to them. They told me, you're an idiot. Marked it off. The pony was so that I could ride with my gear and parts to the generators. They're like, that's what the contact truck's for. I'm like, I know, but you guys are throwing out tons of salad every day. So it's not going to cost anymore. Oh, that was good. A pony and my dog. I tried to order a canine working dog. Now, I did find the NSN for cocaine.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even try to order that.
Wow.
That's not even. But I did find the NSN for beer, Army beer, specifically Army beer, because it's got less alcohol in it. It's 3.9. 3.9.
Well, that's pretty good.
The unit can order Budweiser 3.9 Army beer. They make special beer just for the Army with less alcohol. So I don't know why, but like, this is shit
That's
beer. I'm
funny.
going to the Class 6. I'll get my own. But it's so that if the company wants to throw a barbecue,
Yeah.
I remember back in the day. Remember when Forrest goes, except for the steak and bond beer, it was. They used to send
Yeah.
the soldiers beer, and they got 3.9%. You could drink it all day and barely get pissed. Can you imagine? I used to drink 24-pack of beer when I was in college.
3.9% in one beer? That's a good amount of alcohol. What's in a regular beer?
4.9% less. But see, though, I drink ice, so it's 5.9.
You know? So
When I used to drink beer, I drank 5.9 ice.
5.9%.
And look, they're probably 5.9. That's 2% less, dude.
Yeah.
3%. That's
That's
almost
only an extra couple beers.
okay.
That's
Extra
odd.
couple beers.
Yeah.
So a guy who drinks a 6-pack is actually only drinking. He's drinking actually one less beer. He's only drinking 5.
So?
So he's not as intoxicated.
So you're going to tell me, okay?
Okay.
You're going to tell me, as a soldier in Iraq, shut up, that you're going to be like, oh, here's some Army Budweiser beer. No, this only has not even a little less than what it's supposed to have in alcohol.
No,
And you're not going to drink.
no. For me, I would drink 2 at once.
You're going to be pissed.
I would drink 2 at once and save 1.
A guy who drinks a 6-pack, like me, no, sometimes I like a beer.
Okay,
Or
so
two.
so for every 6-pack though, you're minusing 1 beer's worth of alcohol. So technically, it's less time in their system to recover, right?
Quicker recover.
Faster recovery, more hydration. Because boy, I've never peed so clear on beer.
No shit.
So it's less. So basically, though, a guy who's down for 8 hours and he gets a 6-pack only needs 5 hours for the alcohol to process out of his system, allowing him 3 hours to sober up and get ready for work, right? But if we gave him a 6-pack, it would take 6 hours for him to ready, only giving him 2 hours to ready to go back
What
to
do
the
they
gym.
say? One drink an hour takes it.
Your liver is 1 drink, 1 hour. 1 beer, 1 shot, 1 12-ounce can of beer, 1 8-ounce glass of wine, or 1 ounce liqueur.
Liqueur.
I remember those classes too much.
That's booze.
Do you remember when we'd be in the company and they'd be like, we have to read all of this? Greenbaum, read it. Dude, it never made any sense. I didn't even understand what I was reading. I just know I knew. Say words! But I would get it out. I would get it out.
Hmm.
You have 2 lungs. There's 2 of us. Hey, how many? We got 6 people hanging out. Hey, everybody. Sorry, I didn't mean to take you. We're just
I got 11 in here.
2 veterans doing some Army stories. Don't forget the thumbs up on that
We'll
one.
do this one.
That sounds like a good one. Ah, dude, there's junk all in this mug.
We used it. Told you there was something floating in it. And those are prizes.
No more of that.
That's what happens when you get your coffee cup from behind the couch. Those are prizes.
Dude, I'll never forget the time, dude. It was Monday morning in Afghanistan, right? Just had formation. First sergeant's yelling.
Oh, wait, people are talking. What are they saying? Yeah, can you scroll?
Why am I in a caravan? I don't know. Why aren't you in a caravan?
Ah,
Because I like
Yeah.
caravans. Yeah.
yeah.
You like a dog, you get a dog. Hey, you like dogs? Huh? You like dogs? Dogs?
Sure.
You like dog? Oh, sure, dogs. You buy a caravan, you get a dog. Huh? This is my clubhouse. When I was a kid, I'm not gonna lie, there were
This
2
is the back clubhouse.
Dude, when I was 13 years old, I never forget. I'll never forget it. I was looking and I said, someday, there was neighbors who had them. They had 2 jet skis and they had a little, not bigger than this camper, but they had a camper. And I said to myself, someday, I want a camper.
Mhm.
And I always wished my parents had one because I said to myself, if my parents ever had a camper, I would live out there.
I'm gonna drink
I would
this.
not live with my parents. Yeah, that's mine. Sure, let me get a swig.
I'm gonna spit in it.
Whatever.
I'll drink half of it.
Okay. And you're not the bottom half. Zeb, I'm dry. You do.
That's all half. Oh, that was good.
You're lucky. I forgot what I was saying.
I'm not
Damn
lucky. I'm gifted. You're gonna put.
Do you know what, dude? I do remember a time in AIT where I saw you once. Just once. And I remember I think I ragged on you. Because
I don't think so.
I was standing in the smoke pit and it was lunchtime.
Okay.
And Bravo Company came marching by to go to Charlie DFAC.
Yep.
Okay?
Charlene. Yep.
And I will never forget seeing someone. I said to someone, I turned and said, did you see that squinty-eyed motherfucker? And I think that was you.
Well, I didn't hear.
Did you used to march kind of in the middle where, because you always marched in the same spot?
We never mind.
We'll-
Just warm up and march.
Well, they made us like, here's your number, form up on your number.
Savati was in that.
Dude!
Savati was in that.
Dude! Why you gonna ash in my sink?
I thought you were drinking that.
Oh yeah, the nutrients.
I know you like
That
to,
looks healthy.
I know you like to smoke. Why not drink?
I wonder if we did that, if we ashed in bottles and then sold them to California women as mineral enforced water.
Carbon enforced.
Carbon infused water. What do you think? Could we make a killing?
Someone would buy it.
Someone would buy it.
People buy the pet.
As long
rock.
as we wrote organic on it.
People write pet rock. They buy the pet rock. Why would you buy a pet rock? Family Guy. Peter's taking the rock outside. It's pissing everywhere. No. Oh, that was what's his name anyway?
What's another funny story you could think of from Iraq and Afghanistan? People love these when you and I just tell the stories.
Funny story from Afghanistan.
Or something you and I were doing that was funny. What was another funny? You told him about the car where you pulled the e-brake in the middle of the desert and sent us skidding into a cloud of dust and dirt enveloping the vehicle.
We were on Vegas, but remember that car pulled right up behind a gun truck coming in on a patrol?
Oh, yeah.
And went almost all the way down to what?
He made it to my checkpoint. And I was like, who the hell is this one? Why is there a car? Yeah, he was in Vacus. And you're like, dude, that's a car. There's a car.
Remember that?
That's not funny, but It was
It's
interesting.
funny now.
Well, now it is. That's not good, dude. That was really dangerous now that you think about it.
No, that's my dark humor.
Do you know how I got these scars? Batman gave them to me.
No.
Plus, when I'm out here, you know Cleveland Brown, right? The voice?
Yeah.
No, no, no. Hey, Cipollone. My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be right back in my hometown with my new family. There's old friends and new friends, and even a bear.
I'm trying to hit you with it.
You know the bear from the bear from Cleveland show?
Yeah, but I never understood.
Hold on, listen. This is him perfectly. Hold on. I gotta do Fozzie Bear. I have to think Fozzie Bear. Cleveland. No, that's not it.
Well, Cleveland, I just wanted to come out and talk to you about, a little something. The wife noticed that, your garbage has fallen into the street. I don't care, because it's not my problem, but, she wants it cleaned up.
Why a bear?
Hold on, she wants it cleaned up. So, pick your shit up. Do you want leaves dumped on your lawn again? Don't threaten me, man.
I don't understand why.
Why? Because there's even a bear.
Bear.
Why not?
Just because? Who's he
So it's
supposed to
okay for
represent?
you're fine with Brian, but you're not okay with the bear.
Hmm?
You're okay with Brian, but you're not okay
Well,
with the bear.
Brian's a dog.
What's the difference?
Bears eat people.
Wouldn't a dog if it was
Bears
hungry enough?
attack people.
Wouldn't a dog if it was hungry enough? Don't dogs attack people?
Yeah, but
Hell, what did the sharp points on a bear's teeth called? What are the sharp
I'm not
points?
saying
What are those
I
sharp
don't like
teeth?
the
What are
bear.
those sharp teeth on a bear called? The big long ones. It's what? It's canines.
Yeah.
Why? Because it was similar to the dogs that were biting them.
Okay.
Those teeth hurt.
Yeah.
Those teeth are bigger. Those
All
teeth
right.
are hurt more than
But
those teeth.
but what I'm not mocking the bear, but why a bear?
Why not?
Why not another dog?
Because it's too small.
How many people?
Because a bear is tall enough to function
You
in
know,
society.
What's his nationality of this bear? You talk
Clearly, he's Russian.
Russian.
I mean, come on, Cleveland. It's no, I'm happy to have you stop by once
So
in a
what
while.
the bear's probably
He's a Russian bear. So he's from another country.
he's just an immigrant that came to America.
Right.
Lived on Cleveland Street. That's from Russia.
Yeah.
And that's what we used to call Russians. Russian bears.
the bears. So if you used to call that, and where do you think Seth MacFarlane is from? He's a Boston boy. So if you used to call the Russian guys that came to visit Russian bears, now does it make sense why there's a Russian bear?
A Russian bear?
Yeah.
Makes sense then. Why you use the bear? Yeah.
Glad we
I'm
talked
just
it out.
wondering why,
Glad we talked it out.
I mean, Brian, yeah, okay. Now the bear makes more sense. Why he's there. He's just another guy that lives from another country,
In Boston, you guys have that. Quite
No.
very regular. And you just said that you guys called them Russian bears.
Boschko's in Boston.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that was good to see Boschko, When I went up to Boston last time, I got to meet up with an old army buddy of mine who happened to be there. And I'd been telling Sip,
He's a cop there.
wait, you ruined it! I was like, I told Sip where he lives, and he goes, dude, that's a rough part of town, I don't know how he's doing, if he's doing okay. I assumed the kid was doing kind of poorly, living on his own, whatever, not married. I was like, man, poor guy.
Still a virgin.
Then we meet up with him. He's like, dude, I'm Massachusetts police. I get to go around busting people. It's pretty great. Like, are you gonna bust us? Nah, you guys are gold.
He makes the perfect undercover cop. Because
Oh,
if
God,
you're
yes.
sitting there and you're doing this thing,
You
the
would
guy
never
comes up,
expect him.
say you're about to rob I don't know.
I almost told him
And
everything.
he's like, yeah, I know. You never think of it.
I almost told him everything.
Nobody like it fucking cigarettes. Or however you say it, whatever.
Can I get
Marshall,
fucking smokes?
Yeah.
Do you need to see ID? No, man, that's fine. Get down, sucker. I went to Iraq and never got to do this. I come back to America, I finally get to bust heads.
He was from Belarus.
Belarus. Belarus.
Yeah, Belarus.
Good old Belarusian. When that movie with Daniel
He's a
Craig
good
came out,
guy. He's
did you
a
ever
good
remember
guy.
that movie came out?
Bosco was a good guy.
I was sitting in my room one day, back in the barracks.
Yeah.
Right when we got back from Iraq, Boschko comes running over. What's up, Boschko? Open the door. What's up, man? Greenbone. Have you seen movie Defiance? No. Here is DVD. You see this, Daniel Craig? Uh-huh. This movie, he's in Belarus, my people. You watch. Thanks, man. Put it in. I'm like, all right, Belarusian Jews. Boschko was Jewish.
Yeah, I know that.
He was a Belarusian
Yeah.
Jew. That's why he likes me.
Yeah.
I took him to Passover, too. We were laughing at Sergeant Pagan. Because Sergeant Pagan was Puerto Rican, right?
Mm-hmm. But he was a Jew.
Mm-mm. He said, I asked Boschko, would you want to go to Passover with me? You know, I don't follow religious things, but
They're just going to get something to eat.
well, yeah. But that's what all Jews are out for. Yeah, I don't mind if I have to sit through a speech to get a free dinner. That's fine. Well, I'm just eating and listen. Ooh, and I'm out. You know? It's like my mom and dad were always like, we have to go listen to a 2-hour seminar, but they'll give us $200. I'm like, I'm down, let's go. Like, any questions? Yes, will we be getting check or cash for our $200? Save those kind of questions for the end. Okay. Can I get mine in quarters? They're just like, get him his check and get him out of here. We're not selling him a
I'm
timeshare.
confused.
What?
They offered you $200 to show up for Passover?
No, for free food.
Oh, free food.
Which, it was good food, too. No, so what happened with Sergeant Pagan, though, is that I said to anybody, I said to anybody, hey, listen, anybody would like to go, I'm not very religious, but Passover it's not a religious holiday, it's
a free meal.
it's more, no, well, just being serious for a sec. It's a people's holiday, you know, just how, like, some cultures have their own special holidays.
Kind of like Christmas.
Passover to a Jew is a holiday.
Kinda like Christmas.
So I enjoy celebrating the holidays of my people. You know, Rosh Hashanah is our Jewish New Year. I don't do anything super special for them. I throw a Hanukkah candle up once in a while.
Hey, Dad, a
You know.
shalom.
You know, maybe a shalom here and there.
Yeah.
You know, I won't have a cheeseburger today. You know, but anyway,
Your shalom
So-
is like a word for everything.
it's like how I've always. Well, shalom is goodbye and hello. Same to aloha.
It's kind of like.
But like I've always said, I'm Jew-ish.
Ish. Just the ish.
Just ish.
Just-
Jew enough.
That's
Jew enough.
because you're a German.
Enough for you, enough
Born
for
in
me.
Germany.
Anyway, there's a lot of Jews born in Germany. So Albert Einstein was German
Yeah.
and Jew.
And
Anyway,
what was your
anyway,
job
wait. Let
during
me finish
World
before
War
you're
II?
gonna take away from this for a second. I gotta finish up the why it was funny with Sergeant Pagan. We gotta finish this one. Here's why. So Boschko goes, look, yeah, you know, I'm Jewish. I'll go with you to Passover. I'm like, great, that's 2. Sergeant Pagan goes, you know, I've never been to a Passover before. You know, I'm a Christian and I've heard about it and I'd like to learn more. I'm like, well, please, you know, in the Jewish culture, we're always welcome to invite, you know, Gentiles to come with us if we want.
Infidels.
Yes. Bring them over. So, you know, we'll bring them over. We'll feed them something. You know, that's how you get them. So anyway, he comes with us. Now, have you ever had fresh horseradish?
I love
Fresh
those
cut
guys.
horseradish right off the root.
I don't know. I really can't say.
Okay.
That. But I've had horseradish.
Like sauce or something?
I've had it like. Oh, horseradish would come with that sandwich.
Not radishes. Horseradish.
Yeah.
That white
What
one.
do you put it on? What's it popular to put on?
Well, see, though, I've always had it for... well, we put it on tons of stuff. Mom puts it in
But,
her
like,
potato salad.
Well, I mean,
and-
we used to go to this place that was like, summertime, this vacation town.
Okay, well, then you put on whatever you
You
want.
got these little
Burgers.
places
and-
by the beach. that
People put them
sell
on
things.
burgers and hot dogs, you know,
No,
a little
what was it
horseradish.
on? It was good. What was I eating? I can't remember.
Okay, well, imagine
Really
this,
good.
though. Whatever you were eating it on, it
Yeah.
probably wasn't fresh because you would remember if it was. Because here's
Yeah.
why. The rabbi, there's a portion of the Seder in which you have to eat a piece of horseradish.
Mhm.
Okay, fresh cut horseradish. Okay, if you're not prepared, horseradish is like a wasabi, strong brown mustard mixed.
Yeah.
So the second you eat it, it's.
Yeah.
This is why Jews like it. It clears our nose. It's free. So I turned to Pagan, and I made lying to him, and I told Boschko, listen now, you are a Gentile. do not embarrass me in front of the rabbi. You are supposed to take the biggest freaking piece you can get and you eat it. Don't screw this up. You are going to embarrass me if you do this. You insult the rabbi. So Pecan's like, okay. So he's waiting for everybody to get their piece. They ran out. And he's sitting there without a piece. And the rabbi goes, oh, no problem. Dude, they brought in the fucking root.
Yeah.
The whole chunk root. Gong. Here you go. He's like, oh boy. And there wasn't enough for everybody. They had to cut more right there. He got a fresh hunk right off the root.
Okay.
Dude, he ate it, chewing it up. It's not bad at first. Boshko and I are just sitting there wide-eyed. And all of a sudden, you see Sergeant Pecan, it's like a firework went off. His eyes went wonky. He was like, holy shit.
Was it hot?
No, I don't know how to describe it.
I remember liking it.
It's not, dude, fresh horseradish, it's not hot. I don't know. It's like mustard, dude.
Kind of like a strong, very strong.
Have you ever had wasabi?
Very
Have you ever
strong.
had wasabi?
I don't know.
The green stuff for sushi.
No.
No,
I
okay.
hate sushi.
Have you ever had a very strong brown mustard that's like, it's not hot, it's just woo, and it opens your sinuses up?
The gas chamber and basic.
Okay, same thing, but in root.
But
Dude,
in root.
now I've been doing this my whole life, so I've been prepared to know how to, Boshko and I know about horseradish. We always eat it every year for Passover. But he wasn't ready, and then we made him do Hallel sandwich. When he did Hallel sandwich, that's when he got really messed up. Now, I don't remember exactly how the whole story comes about, but basically some guy put his matzah...
Sergeant Pagan went to Passover.
Yeah, I was
Is
actually...
that the same one you asked me to?
I was actually really happy that he went, dude. It
I
was
wasn't.
awesome. It was fun.
I was.
It was cool, though, to see that the
Yeah.
Army had Passover in a box.
You know? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I would have went for one of them.
That was the coolest part, dude, was we sit down and they
Really?
Yes.
Passover in a box?
They handed everybody everything you needed. I opened my box up.
Yeah.
Inside was my Haggadah, my
What's-
family, the
what's
prayer
that?
book you need for Passover in
Okay.
little print form.
Okay.
Took that out. My yarmulke.
Wow, yarmulke?
Yeah. I put my
Damn.
yarmulke on. I got my little shawl to go over my shoulders. My little shawl. I still have it upstairs.
Everyone has the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
And dude, there was a little white box about this big, this tall, with an NSN said Passover.
What else?
Okay, so inside was a collapsible Seder plate.
What's that?
A Seder plate is a plate that you're going to place all the food items in, and each food represents something that happened during Passover.
Okay.
For instance, you'll put a bit of parsley in there,
Horseradish?
horseradish will be there, an egg,
Okay.
haroset, which is a almond, nut, apple paste mix, some matzah, and they all have their own. It's a
The
plate.
fish?
No fish. That's just something we eat. The plate though will have a little cup for each. It's like a little
I got you,
indentation,
I got you.
and you place each. The great thing is like okay,
Plastic? Metal?
metal.
Tin?
It's usually gold. We usually use gold.
You
Um,
didn't have that in the kit.
No, but it was a plastic one, so it just went.
Mm.
It was folded up like this, and when you took it out, it clicked. And you set it down, and then it had all your little placements for
Magic
everything.
plate.
So inside was one little tiny egg, air sealed, which said "Do not open," but it was an egg. Put my egg in my spot. You needed the lamb bone, the shoulder bone of a lamb. They had us each a little shard of lamb shoulder bone. Said "Do not open; it will stink." Put that in its spot. They gave us the parsley we needed. I put my parsley there. Basically, they gave us little bits of everything we needed to do an individual.
Oh, so you're not eating this stuff.
Well, no, they had food for us, but you have to set the Seder plate up.
Yeah.
And then the food we needed to eat, like trying to get a lamb bone, a shoulder blade of a fresh lamb bone to everybody is tough. So just giving a little shard that was still in the blood and juices,
Mm. Better
that'll
than
do
nothing.
for God.
You know?
We're doing it.
Not everybody's got money, you know.
Well, it's not, God, I'm in a war zone. This is the best I can do, but as the rabbi would say, God will understand. So.
Oh, I understand. That's right. It's just like a Catholic.
You're doing your best, and God appreciates that. That's what's great about the Jewish faith. They're like, as long as you're trying your best, God should get that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, dude, it was great. And then inside we had our little kosher meal. Came with the kosher meal. The horseradish, they would cut fresh horseradish is easy to ship. They just got it through the DFAC.
Yeah.
And some little the rabbi's assistant
all
was
the
over
time
here.
that has to be kosher horseradish, though, don't it?
Well, the rabbi and the rabbi's assistant prepared it.
You know.
As long as
But don't it have to be grown kosher?
it could be grown kosher and shipped to us.
You know?
That's easy
Yeah.
enough. Probably came from Israel, considering where we were.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So they probably airdropped it in.
Mhm.
Horseradish, bye. Man, if I'm above.
Can you imagine being the Haji on the ground out there, and like you're sneaking around on post? I'm going to kill the post, and then you see this plane coming, and it drops the, what do you call that pack again?
Passover in a
The
box.
Passover in a box pallet, and it's like a Jewish freaking star parachute.
That's funny.
Tell him.
Oh, thank you, Gary. He hit us with 557.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
all right.
Sweet.
Um,
Tell him the time when I told the.
Hold on,
kids
this is
that
the
you were
Passover
Jewish.
thing. So let's see. Hold on. I'll get to that one.
That was
So
funny.
that was everything you needed for Passover in a box. And the wine, they gave us kosher. We had little, you have to drink 8 glasses of wine. So inside the box was 8 kosher juice boxes.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, I wish you would have gone with me. This is why I was trying to tell you guys this was going to be great. It's always fun. Then we played the games. We did all the games.
I would have been like, I would have grabbed my box. I'm like, can I go now?
We did all the games, which was fun. There's some games that are associated with Passover. And
I can see it now. Why do you want to go back to your
we didn't do the part where there's a part where
See
here's why
walls.
I like Passover. There's a chance to win money in Passover.
There's a chance to win money.
There's a chance. Oh, and we had our they gave us our afikommens.
What?
An afikomen.
Oh, that is.
Oh, it's okay.
Passover in a box. What a
I still
country.
have my afikomen upstairs. So my afikomen, what it is a
Can you get one of these online?
yeah, you could go order all this junk. A Passover in a box? I bet they have. You could probably go. We'll go inside later and look for one. Ship you one. So
That, like,
an afikomen is it's a bread pouch essentially, and it's about yay big, yay wide, flat, made out of silk. And it's got 3 chambers to it, 3 compartments. Okay. Now remember, this is about Passover time. This is before Jesus, and so part of the Passover ceremony is that ahead of time, 2 pieces or 3 pieces of matzah will be placed inside the afikomen. Okay, shut up. This is how we do it.
this is a lot of work, man, just to eat.
I didn't do it.
God, that's what I
Hold
like
on.
about basic.
So, well, this is the Last Supper. This is what was going on the Last Supper. Although I doubt Jesus had Paul looking around for this. But anyway, so you take the afikomen ahead of time before the Seder starts, and before anyone gets there, and you put your 3 pieces of matzah inside, right? You place it on the table. Sometime during the ceremony, you will bring the afikomen out, and you will tell people inside there are 3 pieces of matzah. I'm going to remove the middle piece of matzah. You remove the middle piece of matzah and you put the down, right? You got the whole piece of matzah, big matzah cracker. You've had matzah, right? Matzah's delicious. If you like crackers, get off crackers. Go buy matzah. You'll never want saltines again. Never. So anyway, you get the big piece of matzah. It's about yay big cracker, right? And what the person does is they will break it in half. And then what they do is they put the one piece down and they wrap it up in a silk cloth, right? They take the other half and they put it back inside the middle pouch, and we put that away for later. Then you take the piece that's wrapped up, and all the kids under a certain age have to hide the eyes and cover their eyes, while the leader of the ceremony goes around and he hides. Sneaky Jew. And he hides that piece somewhere, right? Okay, and all the kids can see again. And then we go about the Seder. Now, later on in the Seder, when they're talking about the story and everything, they're going to say, do you remember that piece of matzah that we had?
Kind of like Easter eggs.
Sorta. And all the kids will get up and they'll search, try to find the piece of the matzah. Okay? Then, once someone finds it, I found it. Okay? Then you have to go up to the who's leading the ceremony of the Seder. And now the Seder cannot go on until this matzah is retrieved from this child. But you can't take it from the child. You must bargain for it. So the leader of the Seder, usually what Dad used to do was he would bring $2 or $3, a $1 bill, some change, and a candy bar, and he would start the bidding. I'll give you $1 to get that back. And the kid, no. I'm going to have to go higher. I'll give you $1.50. No, that's just not going to do it. Not going to do it. Okay, $1.50
And this is for that
to get that half back that's broken that was hidden.
That cracker.
Yeah. I'll give you $1.50 and this Hershey bar. Sold. Okay, good. I get my $1.50 and my candy bar. Now the Seder can continue. So Dad will then, but he has to verify that I haven't tricked him. So he must bring out the other piece, match them back up to make sure that they are the halves that we were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will place them back in the boat now that they've come together again.
People ever get away with it?
No, that's the point. It's wrapped in the thing. That's not the point. It's just part of the ceremony you verify, because sneaky Jews. You got ripped off by the kid. You never know. It's always worth checking. Yep, it's whole. You wrap it back up the thing, and you restore it back together as made whole. Now, what a lot of people have pointed out, at least in the Christian faith, although I don't follow it, it's an interesting similarity that this was a tradition from then, and then this to now. But they've always said that it's interesting, though, that you can think of the Afikomen, even though this was before Christianity was well long established, that you have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. You never see the Father or the Ghost, right?
Mm.
You just have to have faith that they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Because one man who introduced the Son to you, who was broken, buried, made whole, restored to glory. But you never saw, you just have to have faith that the other two were there through the one. It was an interesting comparison, though. And it's interesting, too, when you look at matzah. My dad always made the comparison when he was very religious at the time, that if you took the matzah and you held it up, the way matzah has to be prepared, you have to roll a roller through it. And for some reason, when matzah bakes, it naturally gets stripes and holes, which were like the scars and holes that Jesus' body went through.
Jesus?
Well, Jesus had to wear he was pierced, that's the hole. And then
You're celebrating Jesus?
Well, Dad was a Messianic Jew. He was making the comparison how they tied together at the time.
Yeah.
At the time.
He believed that Jesus was a Messiah.
Yeah. So it was an interesting comparison, though. For any of those who don't know, that's just something interesting to think about. If you didn't know about Passover, you can look a little more into it. I'm also happy to answer any questions. Again, I'm not a very religious person, but I do like understanding what.
I don't remember.
But look at you. You got thrilled. You were like, yeah, we're going to hide things. We're going to bargain. This is starting to sound like a party.
That
Now,
sounds like Easter.
Do remember that generally during a Passover Seder, if you went to one to go do one, this whole time that they're talking, you're constantly eating. It's nonstop eating.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be eating a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then in between the ceremonial eating, you'll have something to eat. And then when that's done, we go back to ceremonial eating, and then when that's done, dessert.
Sounds like eating. Easter.
Yeah.
Sounds like Easter.
Yeah, so
like a 10-course meal.
Probably, yeah. Well, the Seder alone is 7.
You know, what's that?
There's 7 things you have to eat off the Seder.
No,
At one point, here's something cool.
My family just cooks food.
I told you about the 8
feast.
cups. I told you about the 8 cups of juice, right? The 8 cups of juice. Yeah. Okay. On the 4th cup was a promise that each cup we drink is a promise. Maybe it was 4. No, it wasn't 8. It was 4. I'm sorry, 4. Where am I thinking 8? 4 cups. Each cup represented a promise from God to the Jewish people. So we drink and thank God for that promise. Now, one promise, though, that he made was that I will smite your enemies before you. Now, on that cup, to a Jewish person, a full cup of wine represents something. That means happiness. A full cup of wine means happiness.
Okay.
So during that cup that God promised he will smite our enemies, we take our pinky finger and we dip it in the wine and we remove a drop of wine. Because even though God has smited our enemies, we should never be happy about that. That is not good that people had to die, that they became our enemies.
Mm.
But it had to be done. And for that, we are not happy. So, but just the bare minimum, of course. And then you can drink your wine.
Can I refuse to do that?
No. Probably.
What if I did?
I mean, if you didn't, who's going to tell you what to do?
What if I stood up and said, You know what, Mr.
Pop me
Rabbi?
off again. Well, you're not Jewish, so it wouldn't matter.
My first question is, I ain't getting why.
Well, you're probably, dude. Now, do remember, in like a 3-hour Seder, bare minimum you're gonna have is 4 glasses of really strong wine. Bare minimum. Can you imagine drinking 4? And you're not moving. You're just sitting and listening and eating and drinking wine. And then
Why?
you can have alcohol while you're listening.
Hey, we got 9 people? What was that? 5.
9.
Was that 9?
9. Hey, mazel tov.
Okay.
So
Alright.
yeah, that's there's other stuff to it.
How's everyone doing out there? Yeah, let's see what they're saying.
Well, one year, hold on, one day, Dad was making a lemon meringue for
Yep.
Passover
I
one
can
year.
smoke. You want to smoke?
Yeah, I won't smoke. One year, Dad was making a meringue, and he had to whip the meringue, right? But our hand mixer went out. Dad was like, crap, what am I going to use? The drill. 1,800 RPMs. Whee! The bowl cream was separate. Dude, it's never been so... Dude, the meringue was this high. It was so airy and fluffy.
You never use, paint, things that mix paint? Mash stuff up good. Like concrete.
Push down
mixer.
on that.
Like a concrete.
Push down.
mixer.
There you go. Hurry up, bring smoke and water. Smoke and water.
Oh,
Bring smokes and water.
maybe.
Yeah, I figured it would be. Is it too dark in here for you guys? Are you seeing okay? I can open up another window. Make a little more light in here, you know. Yeah, you don't have to see the neighbor's car, I guess. Yeah, that's okay. He's a very naughty boy. Oh, well, that was just something interesting to talk about. I don't know. This is just what I used to do when we were... Yeah, glasses. You guys didn't know I wore glasses? My eyes were hurting, man. I think it was from the chlorine and all the pools. Am I on vacation? My life, I'm always on vacation, Matt. I'm always on vacation. My life is vacation. I've been on summer vacation for the last 45 years. Living it up like the Z-Boys. You guys ever seen that movie, by the way? It's a good movie, The Z-Boys. Oh. Look at that. The hair is getting wicked long and curly. Oh, man, I can't wait until it's done. It's so heavy and hot. Yeah, my house is fine. It's right over there. I just came out to hang out in my clubhouse. This is my clubhouse. Every guy should have a clubhouse. Who wants a man den? I have a man cave that's portable. Like my hot tub, my man cave is portable. Thank you, sir. I got everything. This is why I want to rent my house out and live in this thing. This is all I need, dude. What more do you need? You don't stay in here all day. You go outside. You have sheds. You have, you get 3 or 4 sheds, right? Each shed has something in it. What do you do in this shed? This shed is my storage shed. This shed is my wine shed. You dig a hole in the ground, and that's what you do with that shed. That's how you do that. And you live off a piece of land with, this thing's already pre-wired for solar, and then all you gotta do is collect rainwater and get a pump.
Filtration.
Can be done easy enough.
Rainwater is like hard water.
You can put something in the water to soften it. Water softener.
Yeah, well, yeah, you gotta get the water soft.
It'd still be dude. What more do you need though, dude? If you had some, hey, huh?
I would say a Brita would work.
Sip. If you had,
A fridge.
fridge is right there.
Mhm.
Microwave, stove. For an oven, you just get a grill or one of those, outdoor ones. There's a shower, a bathroom.
Okay. Biggest problem.
What?
Sewage.
No, actually, I know how to do that. I saw you dig a giant hole in the ground.
Yeah,
I saw
like
these
an
people.
outhouse.
Giant hole in the ground, and these people, what they did was they live out in Arizona or something like that, and they planted these specific plants over their sewage area, and these plants break down and use that faster.
I'd make my own septic tank.
Well, once in a while, have someone come out and
just
pump
dig
it.
a deep hole.
Have someone
Pump
come out.
it in there.
Yeah, have someone come out and drain it once in
Hut
a while.
over it.
For what you'll save in sewage costs, what? Once every 3 months, someone comes out and empties it, $200. Too easy.
It's always draining in the woods. On land, it's just going through the dirt. That's what it does. It'll break down, filter through, become your drinking water. That's tradition.
That's good water.
Well, it's so nice out there. The rain stopped when I came back.
Is it too bright? I'm trying to see if the lighting looks good in here. When I sit up, it does. I sit right there. Looking at you through the glass. Let's do like one half right there. It's good lighting. There we go.
You should hook up. You just want to drag the cord over. That's all you're gonna do, huh?
Yeah, drag the cord over, plug it in, and we can have the fan turn on. Maybe the AC. It might not chip the breaker now that it's plugged directly into the house.
No, yeah, you can't live in this.
I would be fine in here. What more do you need?
But
Now think about this. You put the awning out, you wake up. All you do is sleep and eat and cook in here. Sleep and cook in here. That's all you do.
shave, shit, shower.
That's all done right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck, I'd set up a sink bin outside for washing your hands. Get a hand washing
In
station.
the middle of the woods.
No.
It'd be nice.
At a campground, it'd be easy.
You know? Oh, yeah. It's a place to crash.
Well, at a campground, think about it. Even if you spent $500 a month at a campground, right? $500 a month, but that's your water, electricity, sewage. That's everything. Your internet now. They provide internet at campgrounds. That's everything. What more do you need?
Table.
How much time do you spend at home? When I was hanging out with you in Massachusetts, you were only home to cook, to eat, and sleep.
Yeah.
And play hockey. So why couldn't we put a TV right there?
And while I'm
Hey, look. You're sitting here
cooking?
playing hockey.
when I'm cooking and eating, I'm watching TV.
So it's perfect. It's cooking, sitting.
So when I'm home, why not have good TV?
You could have the best TV. You could have the best TV.
If I was going to say sleep, let's just say 8 hours a day. Okay? Get up when I want, put the TV on. Then go about my day.
You can do that from the bed.
Have my coffee when I have my TV.
Coffee, plenty of storage. I would
No.
say I could live in this thing just fine. This is more. You know why I could live in this thing? Because this is more room than I had in my hooch. And there's a toilet. That's why this is better
Running
than.
water if you play your cards right.
Well, if you go to a campground, dude,
Yeah.
you've got running water. I've got a water heater on this thing.
Well, a piece of land would be better. Piece of land.
I would buy one of those portable dishwashers, one of those little portable dishwashers, the tabletop dishwashers,
Mhm.
washes 4 plates, 2 cups, and like some silverware.
Remember at Ed's house, it was
Paper plate, most everything. Anyway,
coffee and guns in the morning.
yeah. Why couldn't you do that now? with
Open
this
up the window and start shooting. Who cares? There's no one there.
If you bought a piece of property, you'd be good to go. You could have a water truck come out and fill you up with potable water for your showers and
That's
everything.
expensive.
Not really.
Build a plastic tank, just dump it in, they can suck it out. It's easy to build a tank. Take care of sewage. Just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it a little far away.
Yeah,
But I
right.
would build it just like an outhouse. That's all. Build it deep as I can dig it.
This is plenty of room because I'd be outside most of the time, and in the winter, you're inside anyway. How much space do you need to lay in bed and chill, and then we ready to go outside? You don't have to shovel as much. You get a snow blower, put it right under the awning.
A little snow here.
Exactly. Yeah, a little ice, but you have sheds for that. Sheds for storage for your lawn equipment.
Well, what people do is
How much is the shed? $200-300?
My
Put 4 of
parents
those out.
had a camper.
Bam.
at the same campground.
I thought about
In
it even this.
Vermont.
What if you did this? You know those giant steel things, those sheds they build?
Yeah,
That's not a permanent structure,
you know?
right?
Yeah, it is.
It's a non-permanent structure.
I don't know.
Those are classified as non-permanent structures. So you put a camper on a piece of ground with one of those. In the winter, you tow it inside.
That would be awesome.
You tow it inside. You tow it inside the giant shed. You're not paying taxes because it's a non-permanent structure over a slab of cement. That's all it is. So in the winter, when it gets cold, you just bring it inside and live inside the shed. And in the summer, you bring your camper back outside. You still have all the room in the workshop to shoot videos, build stuff, store your stuff, work on cars, whatever you want to do.
Rent the campground and put an army tent up. Live in that.
That'd be great. The
Army tent by yourself? That'd be awesome.
only thing that'd be bad is the generator. Right there, dude. Right there, dude.
Yep.
I'm trying to go for my fresh water.
Yep.
You Bostonians, oh, clean. not while I'm here. This is fresh, clean
Bet you I
water.
can shoot this in there. It's my last sip. Oh,
You
man.
Bostonian.
And a lot of people who rent campground, like my parents, had the same place in Vermont for like 20 years.
20 years, huh?
And you know, they had a huge camper, huge
Okay.
one. Living room, you know,
Well, eventually I'd upgrade this
big
to a
ass
bigger one.
bathroom.
If I had a permanent campground, of course I would trade
Open up
this
the
in.
door. They had the awning out at a deck. My dad built a deck for the front and had the screen house off and blah blah blah. It was actually pretty cool.
How many beds are in this thing?
I like Vermont.
How many beds do you think are in this thing?
2. This is probably 1,
Mhm.
3. And you got 4 or 5.
5.
Yeah, people sleeping,
In their own bed
not
comfortably.
living in a camper.
I wouldn't live 5 people in here. Most I'd live in here is 2.
Yeah.
2 people can live comfortably in here. 1 person here, bunk bed,
You know,
put a little TV, mount a little TV on the inside of that one, take out leave the top shelf, take out that and just have a deeper storage area.
Mm.
They did make a model where they didn't have a bathroom and it had a couch.
yeah, the 2. Yeah,
But I like
Oh,
this
but-
model better because I figured whatever they can do with that, I could
but
easily.
it's for camping. It's not for living.
Sure it
That's
is.
the thing.
Sure
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Sure it is. Because if you just enjoy being outside more, you're not going to be inside here as much to use everything. And if something does break, it's easy to fix.
See, all campgrounds have campers for sale. And huge campos, older ones, show money, couple grand. You can get like a 30-foot camper, fully loaded with extensions and everything.
You should do
They're
that.
cheap as hell.
Buy the
Oh,
land, buy the
At least
thing.
back home they are. They depreciate really quick, campers.
Yeah. That's why you can buy them though. I went online and I priced mine. I'm not upside down on it by any means.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
I love this thing, dude. I love my little camper.
I love, the campground from home was cool.
Once it's paid
Yeah,
off,
bro.
see that's the
We-
point. Is I think long term. I need a camper so I can go camping. If I wait till I want to go camping and need a camper, it's going to be too late. By the time this is paid off, I'm only going to be less than 35, dude. Less than 35.
When
I
I
still
was a
got-
teenager,
and it'll be paid for. I can't wait.
see, when I was a
Pretty
seasonal
good.
kid. There was a gang of us. We were all seasonal kids. That their parents had their camper. On the same campground for years too.
Yeah,
They used to have like seasonal dinners,
Yeah,
with the seasonal
yeah.
people and stuff like that.
sure.
And what we used to do, we all knew each other. So like, come the weekend the weekenders, they come and
Yeah.
hook up campsite, but they all went to bingo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, play bingo.
We used to roam around campsites and steal booze.
Look for beer out in the
Everyone's
coolers.
playing bingo, we're stealing your booze.
That's
Do you
it.
want to go up halfway up the mountain there in the woods somewhere and just get drunk?
Good times at
Yeah,
campgrounds.
right,
There's always
yeah.
fun at a camp. Now, see, if I had the campground and you were living at a campground, I would take the jet ski up there and leave it.
Well, I had a river. This had a big river.
Dude, you should see
Right.
where my buddy's houseboat is.
And
It's got a campground right
This
next
was
attached to it.
the West River in Vermont.
Mhm.
And campground was in, I think, Townsend, something like that. But like we were kids, even young teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
go rent an inner tube for like $1.
Oh yeah,
Your parents would drive you up to the lake,
leave
jump in the inner tube, coast
Float
down,
down.
the river. When you come to the campground, get out.
Yeah.
Took like 4 hours.
it. Yeah, moving that street. I used to go tubing when I was a kid at my
Yeah,
grandpa's in
we
North
would,
Carolina.
We'd be gone all day. We were kids. Oh,
You guys
man,
should
at
look up
this one.
Slippery Rock when you get a chance. I've been to Slippery Rock. Slippery Rock is awesome. It's a 60-foot rock face in North Carolina. Water has been running over it for so many years. It's perfectly smooth.
I knew a kid up there. See, our campground was Camporama. We were
Camporama.
on the river's flowing this way. Okay, we were on this side. I knew a kid. There was a campground on the other side of the river called I think Bald Mountain, Bald Eagle,
Whatever.
Mountain, Eagle Mountain,
Whatever.
I think it was. Yeah, and I knew a kid over there because it was always like a feud between the two. But I was friendly with a kid on the other side. And there was this cable up the river a bit, like 100 yards or so from the campsite. There was a cable that went from pole to pole. I don't know what it was
That's how you
doing there.
crossed.
Who knows why it was there.
That's how you crossed.
Well, no. Well, the kid, what he did is he built a raft out of drums, put some plywood on it, did this, did that, got it all together. He connected it to the table. We used to just coast out. We used to fish off of it.
Oh, that's cool.
And the thing, just go any part of the river. It was a pretty wide river. It was pretty good. That was
Pretty
a good
cool.
place growing up. Going there. The Vermont Teddy Bear Factory was right up there.
You know why I said if I
One
ever go
teddy bear.
camping, why I want one of these? As a kid, we tried to do camping trips. And every time something bad happened.
Well, see, that's what happened to us.
So, dude, my dad,
Yeah.
one Thanksgiving, he goes, for Thanksgiving, the boys want to go camping. So we're going to eat Thanksgiving dinner. We'll have the car packed and ready to go. As soon as it's over, we'll pack up leftovers in a cooler and we'll head out to the campground. So we did. We got out there that night, set our campground up. Me, my brother, my dad, my brother, and I hanging out. Everything nice, great. Fire, everything going great. Good tent. We pass out, go to sleep. Wake up in the morning, my dad. Wake up, I'm like, what? And the neighbors are, what in the world are the neighbors doing? Dad goes, that's not the neighbors, that's rain. It's freaking beating down rain.
Mm-hmm.
So Dad and I are just sitting in the tent and we're playing a dice game. Tent collapses on us. The ground got so soggy, the spikes couldn't hold, that nothing could hold. Dude, we decided we had to leave the campground. It was a bog of mud.
Yeah.
Dude, we were covered in mud. All we did was pack everything up. Dude, a tornado came through. That's what happened.
See, when we were camping as
Dude,
kids,
I'm telling you, we got home and I'm
Yeah.
talking, we just threw everything in the car. I jumped in the back seat. Dad and Josh are covered in mud in the front seat. Dude, it was mud bogs, dude.
Yeah.
Mud bogs. Oh, it was bad, dude. It
I'll
was
make
so
this-
bad.
I'll do this quick. We used to go camping in tents. We had a big ass tent.
Yeah.
Well, one time we were camping at this thing. It rained so hard, the river flooded.
Yeah.
Flooded everything out. Everything got soaked. Right. Lost a lot of shit too. Just
Floated
flooded.
all the way.
Right. My mother talked my dad into buying a pop-up camper. So he bought a pop-up camper. Well, we bring it back up to the campground. He pulls it in. He goes to crank it, to raise it. Snap, the cable's broke. So everyone had to stand, a bunch of people from the campground. They all went in the check. They picked it up and they drilled holes and just put like a nail in it,
To hold the pole.
and we set the camper up.
Yeah.
So my mother talked my dad into buying a trailer, right? We bought it was a smaller one, something like this, maybe a little bit bigger than this. About this, something like this. It was a Shasta. And what happened was over the winter, there was a roof leak and it rotted through the floor. So my dad, he fixed the floor. And then my mom convinced him on buying a big ass thing. Had everything. Thing had everything. That was I believe it was a Coach. Was it Coachman? No, Wilderness, I think it was.
What?
I might have been a Wilderness. Can't remember. I don't think it was Coachman because they have the dog there. Yeah, it wasn't a
Then I'll
Coachman.
say this, go. From going from Iraq to living in Hoochis to Afghanistan, living in a tent for a year, they were nice tents, though. But what sucked though was this is when we first got to Afghanistan, we were living in GP mediums, right? Standard tents. So Sergeant Sadao and his team spent like a month laying cement slabs for the GP mediums. Then they got the new Alaskan tents in, and turned out those were about 6 inches bigger than the GP mediums. So they had to go to every slab again and lay a foot more of concrete on every single tent slab.
Mm-hmm.
Sergeant Sadao, I'm so pissed. Mixing cements again. If they knew things was getting them sweaty, they just have to mix us the right size.
You're a soldier first, sir.
Dude,
You want to hear something? I don't know if you remember
that
this.
guy was
In
hilarious.
Iraq, right? When we got our hooch, we got our transient helmet, we got our hooches, right? I was the first one in line to get the key. I got the key, I grabbed Barley, let's go get our stuff, right? Go drop our stuff. So we're sitting in the hooch, just like this. We're looking at each other. And I go, well, there's a bed on that corner, there's a bed on this corner. Well, why don't we just set the wall lockers up in the middle? You can have a little privacy.
That's what everybody did. That's what everybody did.
He's like, that's a good idea.
You turn yours to face you,
All right.
I'll turn mine to face me.
So I go, where do you want your law? You want yours up against the window facing you? Or do you want, he goes, oh, I'll go up against the window. And I had mine second, remember?
Yeah.
So I'm setting it up, right? And I'm looking at my wall locker and I'm like, that's a bullet hole. Huh. I go, that's weird. So I'm setting up my room and I'm on the back wall. That's a bullet hole. I swear that lock, I'm telling you, that lock wall lock was in the same spot. A round went off and where Pierce was next to me. A round went off in that room. It was a small holes in M16.
And it went through.
Went through the wall, hit the wall locker, and that was it. There was a dent on the back of it.
I wonder if someone got hit.
I don't know.
I don't think so. It would have
I don't
changed
know.
the ballistics by then.
I don't know. I actually, if I could dig out those pictures, find those pictures, I might have, because I had pictures in my room, and you might see the hole in the
Dude, I was
corner.
so angry
There's a
walking to
round
I
one,
was
too.
so angry walking to my room. I ran to my room. It's like, if this is how it's going to be for 15 months, I'm at least getting the side I want.
Awesome.
And I got in there and I looked over. I looked at his side, looked at my side. I'm controlling the AC. It's like,
Greenfield, is that your hair?
no.
Greenbaum, clean up that hair. You cut your hair.
I went.
Sergeant, I need a haircut.
No, well, I pointed out simple logic. He had hair when we left for work.
Yeah.
He now has no hair. There's
That's
a pile
funny.
of hair. It doesn't take exactly a team of scientists to put it together there, Scooby-Doo.
It needs a team of sergeants.
I was like, Sergeant, I've been at work with you. Ole!
Does it look like my hair has been cut?
When would have I have had... There's a trail of hair going into the room to his side. The clippers are still out. Greenfield, did you cut your hair? No. Dude, he stole my gloves.
You're still pissed at them.
He stole my gloves. Well, you guys don't understand. We got in trouble for not having our gloves. He stole my gloves. And I also knew this. I was the only one in the company who got extra large gloves. The large don't fit my hands. Apparently I have large hands. These hands. So I always had to get extra large. The company ordered me one set for me. And I knew that Greenfield was a thief. So I wrote JG on the tag.
Mm-hmm.
I said I went and got NCO. He stole my gloves. Did you steal his gloves?
No.
No. I was like, give me those gloves.
He really did that. Before every question.
Took the
Yeah.
gloves away from him, opened them up. I told him my initials are in the inside of my gloves. JG. JG. He had one large left glove that he was hiding because he lost the right, so he stole both of mine. Because I did this. I had a routine to never lose stuff in the Army. When I came home from shift,
Yeah.
bag goes down, helmet came off, gloves come off, go in the helmet. All my gear that I needed, like little stuff, pins, brush, helmet. Helmet goes on this. Body armor comes this, goes to the foot of the bed. Backpack goes in front of body armor. Helmet goes on top of this stuff. Every time. When I came home in the barracks, it was hat came off. Room keys, wallet, everything goes in my hat.
Yeah.
And if I was in civilian clothes, take what you need out of the hat, put what you need back in the hat. When it's time to go to PT, take what you need out of the hat, put it back in the hat. When it's time to go to work, take the hat. Everything comes with. Cap, everything was in my soft cap and my beret, and all of that went into my hat. I never lost anything. Always, and all my change went inside my little change jar for the vending machine if I wasn't putting a nickel on top of it.
You steal my glove? No.
Dude, that guy. And I saved Sergeant Sadow's life. You think he would have been grateful? I was hoping he was going to do it.
Oh, shit.
Dude, I mean, I wedged myself. I put myself in between an NCO and a really stinky guy who was going to lock and load.
That
I
goalie
should've-
equipment didn't smell as bad as that kid.
I should have I could tolerate the goalie equipment. So what happened with the goalie equipment
That
was
terrible.
there was a day we had PT and
We had to do PT.
they took us to the gym and they said you can do whatever you want, just play a sport. And there was a goal, some goalie pads, a couple gloves, and some balls,
Chest protector, the gloves,
mask,
helmet.
everything.
Stick.
No basic stuff. Legs. So I went to put the mask on and I was like, oh dear God, this is funky, dude. I guarantee nobody had ever washed these pads ever.
Nope.
And I was like, Sip was like, no, I really wanted to shoot some hockey.
No, I was telling you don't put it on.
No, you were like, put it on. I was like, nah. Then I was like, nah, I don't. He was like, you were like, don't.
I was telling you don't. It smelled bad.
You were like,
I
don't.
know how bad it smelled down here.
But dude, I saw the look on Sip's face when he had the possibility of being able to
Sanchez
shoot.
tried to play me, remember?
Yeah, but when Sip saw the possibility of he might be able to shoot some hockey, I couldn't take that from him, and I was like, you know what? This is what a battle buddy does: is I'm gonna suck up this stinky smell. Not that my roommate wasn't any better, but I'm gonna take one for
No,
Seth.
he wasn't.
And you know, I got to play. I got a few good gloves in that I was really happy about, and other than that, it was horrible. But
I will say
do
the
that for a
best
friend.
thing about Greenfield is he kept the flies off of everybody.
that's true. Flies
I
sliding
learned
off
that
of
in
him.
Kuwait. Remember that mock-up ECP drills they
Yeah,
were giving us?
right.
And we're sitting, you're like this all day long, Greenfield, hey, let's do a little, what happened here? And we're all serving around there explaining this and that. And like the flies go away because they're all on Greenfield. That was great. Flies are horrible there. They're horrible.
Dude, I hated that guy so much when he passed his PT test and his weight. He cleared weight and
Oh.
tape. I went and bought him his own pizza.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh,
I was
Mission
sabotaging
Impossible.
that guy from the beginning.
Greenfield passed away. Talk about Mission Impossible. Wow.
I'll never forget Toby. They told him that Toby Keith was playing a concert,
Yeah.
but he had to do remedial and walk his 2 miles. They all finished and they're waiting. I remember I was just coming around the corner to see what everyone was doing. And the sergeant said, I was there, and like all the people are done. And they're like, we're just waiting on Greenfield. Dude, it was like half an hour later and he's still not there. Sergeant said, I'm gonna go look for him. He runs up the road. Sergeant Al comes laughing back. He goes, I see him just the corners, he's walking. Because he couldn't go till he was done his walk. Toby! He wanted to say Toby Keith. Oh, that was a good time, dude. I'll never forget that one. Oh, that's good. Another time was funny is Lazardo comes to my room
That
one
kid
time.
gave the army a really bad name.
Lazardo comes to my room one time and says, Greenbaum, I gotta go to the showers. You come with me, and I have a secret to tell you. I don't care about the secret, but I need to take a shower, and the showers were down anyway by my hooch. All right, let's go. So grabbed all our stuff, battle buddy over to the showers. We get over there. I'm like, "What's this secret?" She's like, "No, I'll tell you just a second. We gotta get away from here." Uh-oh, what? So we get closer to their shower. She goes, "The secret is they fixed the male showers." But if I had told you that, you wouldn't have walked with me over here. I was like, "No, I still would have, but you know that's bullshit." Thanks for letting me know they're up. But the rapist was on post at the time. You remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
The rapist was going around raping people. So I go to my shower and she goes to hers. Dude, guys, I was able to get in and out a little faster, you know? So I'm waiting for Lazardo. I'm like, well, where do I wait for her, though? Because her shower was like right here and the road was like right over here coming from the ECP, that turn you would make, and the showers were right there and our hooches were back over here. You know, you walk past that gazebo where we used to catch the bus.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where do I wait? You know, I don't want to look like a creeper, so I can't stand next to the female shower right at the door, because then someone's going to say I was looking in or something. I was like, so I'll just stand back by the road under this light. I'll be in clear visible view. I'm obviously not trying to hide myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I started sitting there. I'm sitting under the light for a minute. She's taking a while. Like, Jesus, how long does it take to take a shower? I've already been in and out, showered, shaved, everything. Taking forever. Then I started thinking to myself, I was like, wait a second. This may not be a good situation if she doesn't hurry up. Reason being is, what if an MP comes and says, hey, you, what are you doing? I'm just waiting for someone to come out. To do what? Walk her back to her hooch? You're coming with us, son. That's the truth.
I'm waiting for my battle buddy. That's
No,
all.
she finally showed and came out, and I told her. She was like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
That's funny. We were on the bus, and then we're talking about
So dark.
There was another attack. One of that rapist, and they said they took their wallet and their 30-round mag. I was like, that's 30 more rounds than the Air Force carried.
That was terrible. It was always, they said it was the Navy and the Air Force that were getting hit, not the soldiers.
They didn't carry a weapon. If they well, that's what they were doing. They would take your mag. Dude, they was knocking you out with what, ethanol, whatever they had.
I don't know.
They were knocking you. They were ragging you with. They were pushing people. You'd walk into a porta john. You just walk right in, cover your face in the porta john, dude. You're out. That's what he was doing.
Ugh.
You don't remember that?
They just said that someone was
You
coming
were
up on.
saying no. They should just track who's getting the stuff on post. I mean,
I
I
think
mean,
I heard he
basically,
was
right.
butt stocking people to the back of the head,
you know,
and then when you're all like messed up, he took your mags, and
you know.
that's what I heard.
No, he was knocking people out.
It was guys though. It
What
was
that
it was
st-
guys
I think
getting.
It was, I think it was that stuff. That, you know, those tanks they put, like the 5-ton had the thing you screw in the tank to help it start.
Oh,
The starting fluid stuff there.
Oh.
Ethanol, what are they
yeah, they had it in Afghanistan.
called? You know,
Yeah, the ethanol. It was ethanol.
I think that's what he was using, something like that.
I remember getting tanks of that stuff to help the cold start.
That was funny. Rapist on post.
It was
Wow.
terrible.
No, it's funny now.
Well, now it didn't happen to me. You know?
Yeah.
I stayed in my hooch. That's
Smart enough to stay away from Cuba.
why you back into the Porta John.
You know, it probably stopped because he met Cubic. Cubic.
Honestly, it probably stopped because he redeployed and went home.
Oh man, I used to get a kick out of the things you'd see, like Porta John humor.
Now I sit so downhearted, tried to shit, but only farted. Then one.
Steve Sides across.
It looks like Big Bird.
That was fucking hilarious.
Oh, that was good stuff.
I'll give her credit. She was fair.
She was a good lady.
She did her job.
Did her job well. Brought me chickens. I'll never forget. I was sick as a dog, and I went to the the medical center, right? TMZ.
I like Sergeant T. too.
And I went in there with a fever, 102 fever, and I knew that I would get seen faster if I wrote pain in chest, and I wrote W/cough. As soon as I wrote pain in chest, they brought me right back. I think that's why they didn't treat me. It's because they were pissed that I got. I was like, well, if I'm back here, treat me.
That
Anyway.
must have been the trip to the burn pit.
Dude, no, this was before that. I just got sick,
Oh,
and they sent me back, and they said, if
going
you
to the
don't,
burn
they
pit
said
in
if.
Iraq, you come back with black lungs.
Oh, I know. That's when I was coughing up blood.
Hawk up a lung or two.
That's when I was coughing up blood from the burn pit. Me and Fiegels and I went to the burn pit for like 6 hours dumping stuff.
But the
They would bring us a truck. They were bringing us a truck.
But the sandstorms are awfully soothing, aren't they?
They would bring us a truck. We emptied the truck. The next truck would come. We would get to the back of that truck. The guys in the truck driving would get in the truck, drive off. We would empty the truck. Next guys would show up, and we just went back and forth doing that. It was like 6 hours doing that at the burn pit. Then when our truck was the last truck, and they told us last truck, and they took this truck, we got in this truck together, drove off. And I remember sitting there, and I went, and Fiegels was doing the same thing, and we both looked at our hand, and I was like,
Black shit.
dude, it was not black, it was a blood.
Yeah.
A big hunk of blood. And I was hurting all. We were both sick, and we both looked at each other, and he had like spew of blood. I had chunk. What do you do?
Sergeant.
Something's wrong. Anyway.
Medic.
Yeah, they told me I was sick though. Sergeant Cross though. I walked back to formation after the TMZ said, come back in 3 days if you don't feel good. It's time for work. And Sergeant Cross, Green Bomb, what's wrong with you? I'm sick. Why didn't you go to the TMZ? I did. What'd they say? Come back in 3 days if I'm sick. What? I'm like,
Come back.
I was like, I might be dead by then, but
But I won't be sick.
she goes, go to your room and you stay there. Can do. Dude, there was times in the military I used to argue when I was sick about, if I'm just a little sick, I'm okay. You know, I don't feel good, but I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the first time someone said, go to your room. No arguments here. It happened once on post, too. Once on Fort Campbell. I was sick, dude, and I went to work. And I worked all the way to lunch. And lunchtime came, and I just put my head down on the desk. And I slept all through lunch. Sergeant, the E6 lady, came back, and she came up to me, pushed my head up, put her hand on my head. Get the hell out of here. Dude, bad sick.
I like the one when you're at the doctor's office. Would you break your arm or something? What you do? Why your arm was in the cast in the IT?
Fractured my hand.
And weren't you like passed out? And they were yelling at you, and you held up your pills.
Yeah,
Like,
that was at the
oh.
hospital. No sleeping at the hospital, and I had Percocets with a broken hand and a cast. And they said, "Hey, you, what are you doing sleeping?" Just lifted my bottle of pills. Oh, okay. Well, no drinking, no alcohol, no nothing for months, and then they hit me with perks. I'd never had Percocets except when I had my teeth done as a kid. I didn't have pills before. Dude, that knocked me on my ass. 10.5s, man. They're like, take 2 as needed for pain every 6 hours. 2? Woo! Dude, the lady doing my cast, you poor thing. She was a civilian. Oh, you poor baby. How long have you been like this? About 3 days. They were making me do push-ups. Dude, that was great. I was like, when I had to do push-ups, I couldn't straighten my pinky out. And they put us in the lane where you put your feet up on each other's shoulders.
Yeah.
To get my pinky down so I wouldn't smash it, I put it on the ground and I would drag it back to force it forward and then set the push-up position. Dude, it was killing my hand. And then I'll never forget, I'm sitting in the office doing the phone. My hand is still, can't straighten my pinky out. I'm saluting like this. And and I'm doing the phones, and I hear the XO get a phone call from the hospital. You need to find Private Greenbaum right now, Jeremy Greenbaum, right now. He has a broken hip. Do not have him do anything. I'm Private Jeremy Greenbaum. Knock on the lieutenant's door. Enter. Excuse me, sir, I couldn't help but over here. I'm Private Greenbaum. Sit down! You have a broken hip, I do!
You should have stiffened up and fell.
They're like, the x-rays revealed that you have a broken hip. I'm like, I'm in for my hand. He goes, wait a minute. He calls them back. They go, oh, that's not Private Greenbaum with the broken. They missed the x-ray when they x-rayed it. They missed it completely when they first took the x-ray. 2 days later, the doctor finally looked at the x-rays and realized I had a broken hip. Likewise, though, another guy, Jeremy...
How do you go from finger to hip, though?
Jeremy Green had a broken hip, and they missed that x-ray.
Oh.
And then, when they went to deliver the x-rays, they switched them. So he had mine, I had his. So I'm like, I don't have a hip. They x-rayed my hand. Then this guy comes limping in. And they're like, you have a broken hip. I'm like, I can tell he has a broken hip. Like, I'm no doctor, but he has a broken hip. Like a fracture sticking out the side. Like, that